So let's just settle into our meditation posture. And as usual, check your feet. If they're on the ground, make sure there's a cushion underneath them and that they're in a parallel position, with your lower legs at right angles to your upper legs, thighs, and a cushion under your sit bones. The sacrum is upright, hands in the meditation mudra, and your shoulders are aligned with your hips and your ears aligned with your shoulders. And let's just imagine we have a string of pearls of light stretching from the coccyx all the way up through the crown of the head. Just imagine someone's above you, behind you, very gently lengthening your spine. And you'll notice you'll start to feel a little bit taller, just even imagining that this is happening. The head is slightly tipped forward, the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. Let's bring our attention to the crown of the head. Relax the scalp, the forehead and the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. The jaw. Take your attention to the back of the scalp. Just relax that area. And your ears, and your inner ear, and your temples. And just feel. And then relax the back of the neck, shoulders. And if you are able to, think about relaxing the shoulder blades. Them they're going down the back. And if you have any sensation in the mid-thoracic area of your back, just try and release those muscles. If you are sitting on a chair or a couch or by a wall, just try not to lean into the surface. Just keep your back, keep yourself held up by yourself. Relax the throat, the chest and the belly, arms, hands, fingers, the legs and the feet and the toes. And let's just bring our mind to the breath, noticing the sensation of the cool air as you're breathing in, slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. If there's any sounds in your external environment, you can just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to go off and investigate. There may be thoughts in your mind. Just watch them arise, abide, and fall. Try not to judge the thoughts or criticize yourself, follow a story, or engage with them in any way. Just allow them to come and go. And let's bring to mind all the people of our life, our beloveds, the ones we love, the ones who support us, the ones who really watch our back, take care of us, keep you in their mind. The ones that perhaps we find irritating, they find us irritating, always trying to tell us what to do, or they're actively harming us. We might regard them as not a friend, maybe even enemy. Bring them to mind. And then the strangers, and just remembering that they're all equal in their wish to find happiness, constantly finding it evades them. Their wish to avoid suffering, constantly encountering it. And they're all equal in this incredible capacity for enlightenment. And we probably wouldn't want to kind of say that maybe our enemies have good qualities because we can only see the bad, but actually they have an equal capacity for enlightenment as your loved ones. And another thing to think about the friend, enemy and stranger is that at any point in your life, they will change places. According to the karma, we never know when this will happen. Let's just bring the mind to the breath again. Just remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified. The first of the 4 opponent powers is regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in past lives. So maybe just bring something to mind. Maybe you did something, said something. Maybe you had even it was something small that you had a judgment about a person. And then started developing ideas about them, which might lead to something verbal in the future. Good to get a check on things early. So if anything happened today or this week, just feel a sense of regret. Regret is about taking responsibility. It's not about guilt. And the reason we regret is based on the logic of karma. We understand that when we harm others, we will experience suffering in the future. And given that we already know what suffering is all about, we don't really want to experience any more of it. So logically, we want to pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech and broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And we also regret our delusions, the anger, attachment, grasping and neediness and jealousy. This is the cause of why we harm others. We think I'm sick of this suffering. So what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we rely upon, we return to the Buddha, who is the doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. And it's not that we need the Buddha to forgive us. We're wanting to use his methods to heal ourselves. So visualize Guru Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, this brilliant, white-bodied being, holy being. And imagine this is your teacher, the person who inspires your mind in the Dharma, your trusted mentor or guru or lama, however you wish to call them. This is the mind of that person in this form. And he's made of this blissful, radiant white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. There's this radiant, beautiful, youthful face, the lotus-like eyes, peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all sentient beings. He's just meeting you where you are at, accepts you exactly as you are. There's no judgment about you, towards you. Just totally accepts you. He's wearing this beautiful silken robes in the Royal Indian style with jewels. And this 5-pointed crown encrusted with jewels on his head. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a Vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and there being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, we can develop compassion for them. We can try. So think maybe of someone you've harmed recently and in the past. And then in general, all beings maybe we've harmed since beginningless time, and try to develop compassion for these beings. And then just bring to mind somebody that's harmed you. Or it could even be a dog. Maybe they bit your hand or something. And develop compassion for them, because they will suffer as a result of the harm that they've done to you. We think we must make a strong aspiration to do this purification practice for their sake. So we come to the power of the remedy, which is the actual medicine, doing the mantra and visualization. So the first is the purification of the body. And Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming quite strongly. Maybe it's a hose, like the shower head, if you have a strong shower head. Maybe Niagara Falls, but quite forcefully, this nectar flowing down from Guru Vajrasattva's heart, and it sort of arcs around as it enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it fills you up completely, and then it keeps coming until it forces out of all your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebeyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sudam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Musa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sudam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sudam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sudam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sudam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta mebowa sawa siddhi mepi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think that there is no way you could do anything but be of benefit to others now with your body. And then the purification of the speech, and just imagine Guru Vajrasattva very happily sending powerful nectar again from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, and this time sort of pushing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And it overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and the lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mepi yata sawa kama sutame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa Anarakta mebowa sawasidi mempe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mempe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine that it's not possible to do anything other than be of benefit to others now with your speech. How amazing. Every time anyone hears your voice, it benefits their mind. So the next is the purification of the mind. And imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately now sends powerful beams of laser light from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown, fills your entire being. So just imagine it's the same as when you walk into a room and you flick on a light switch. That light instantly dispels the darkness in the room, doesn't it? So this is the same with us. The minute the sort of this light from Guru Vajrasattva's heart touches our heart, all the darkness of the negativity of our mind, all our attachment and neediness, and depression, anxiety, kind of grasping, bitterness, jealousy, grudges, the wish to harm, instantly dispelled upon contact with the light. As you recite the mantra, Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mempe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mempe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebowa sutokaya mebowa supokaya mebowa anarakta mebowa sawasidi mempe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be so delighted that delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. They're gone, finished. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. This time, imagine as we purify the imprints of the negativities of the body, speech, and mind. So you can imagine either the visualizations from the body, speech, and mind that we just did previously, or you can just imagine light and nectar flowing into you from Guru Vajrasattva's heart, through your crown into your heart. And imagine that it fills you and completely eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Now feel you are completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the fourth of the four apparent powers is the power of resolve, and is a really crucial step, this one. This determination that we make to try not to harm with our body, speech, and mind. And it may not be forever again. To start with, I mean, that's the ultimate aim. But to start with, we just want to do something simple, maybe 5 seconds, 5 minutes, overnight. We make a determination, just choose something. Make a determination or an aspiration to perhaps refrain from doing that thing. Whether it's something to do with your speech, whether you bite your nails, whether you have a habit to be sarcastic, or whatever it is you do that's perhaps negative or harms others. Just, this is part of the taking responsibility, part of regret. And we make a determination to do something about it. So we've regretted the action and now we want to change. So we take it upon ourselves to make that decision, and it gives us courage. Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind, the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. So the next, as Lama Rinpoche recommends, meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. Excuse me. There is no action of creating negative karma. I'm sorry. And there is no negative karma created. Excuse me 1 second. So whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind in that space for a little while. So we can think of all phenomena as empty. They do not exist from their own side. And perhaps just think for a moment that perhaps not everything that we see is appearing to us the way we think it does. Everything we hear might not necessarily be correct according to the way we are interpreting it. So let's dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you have created this evening by doing this purification to all the people of your life, and by extension, all living beings. And think, may the virtuous karma that I have created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And long life prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world. To the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjanath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the 3 jewels, savor of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindfully of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And the Geshe-la. Beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are their unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, and there's one question in the chat from Mudit. Sarcasm, generally, if you're speaking in a way that you're using it to harm the other person, then yes, it's harmful. Because so if you're, it depends on your intention too. I mean, if you're just making a joke and you know that the other person is also going to perceive it as a joke, because the British tend to kid around in that way as well, but they all understand what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's on the same playing field. But sometimes sarcasm can be used as a way to harm people or to put them down. And then sometimes sarcasm can be used as a way to help a person, but it really depends on your motivation. So if it comes from a place of anger and you're just kind of striking back at a person, then it's, yeah, it could be considered negative.
Okay, thank you.
It's a bit tricky, isn't it? Because people use sarcasm in humor.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what we find funny as one particular cultural group, another culture, and sometimes if it's at the expense of another cultural group, for example, it might be hurtful to them. So, I mean, we have to be so careful with our speech. It's very interesting. Thank you for raising that question. It's a really good point. Thank you.
Thank you.
And everybody sleep well and lots of love. And I'll see you on Friday, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Take care.